What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Sims 3 General Hospital review. So, let me get right into this. There's a lot to go over. A lot has happened in this part. Um, it's the morning after Love Day. And Sam and Jason are being checked out the hospital today with baby Teresa. And they are ecstatic about their new baby girl. So they show up to the Quartermaine mansion and surprise, surprise, soon as they open the door, it's a big welcome home party from the Quartermaines for the new arrival, the new addition to the family. Alan, Monica, and two surprise guests who returned to Port Charles from their hiatus, AJ and Sky. They showed up for the welcome home party for the baby. Emily was there with Nicholas, her husband. Michael, Alan, Monica, Alice, Tracy, and Carl, they were all there in attendance for the new baby's arrival. And Danny, they all went into the living room. They had they had orange juice and breakfast and everything set up, balloons and a banner. Monica and Alan went all out for their new granddaughter. And Danny got to hold his baby sister for the first time. He got to hold his new baby sister. He's ecstatic to have a little sister. AJ was happy to have a new little niece. Actually, Jason pulled Michael and AJ aside and let them know that he's going to be taking a few days off from ELQ to be there for Sam and the baby. Maternity leave. So AJ is in charge of the company. He's going to be in charge of the business while Jason is away dealing with his family. So Jason told AJ to look over the details for the new product line for the new cosmetics division at ELQ. Jason wants to put a lot of money behind this cosmetics line, so it has to be a hit because it's sink or swim. If the cosmetics line doesn't pop off, ELQ can be in real financial trouble if this thing doesn't pop off. Little do they know, little Miss Nosy, Tracy Quartermaine, is behind the door listening. So they go back to the party. Tracy pulls Carl aside, her husband, and lets him know that she has a new way to take control of ELQ. She has a plan. She knows that Jason is putting a lot of money, and I do mean a lot of money, behind this new cosmetics division at ELQ. So it's sink or swim. And she feels that if they can sabotage this, that ELQ would be in financial disaster. And Alan would have no choice but to sell the Quartermaine shares of ELQ in order to protect the Quartermaine fortune. So that means that they can buy out the shares anonymously and take control of the company. Carl likes the idea. He loves the idea. So Tracy goes back to the party while Carl says he has to make a phone call. So Carl calls his mysterious business partner and lets that person know that ELQ will be theirs for the taking soon enough. And he hangs up and goes back to the party. So meanwhile, on the teen scene, Alec comes downstairs. He tells his mom, Brenda, that he's heading off to school. And in reality, he plans on skipping school because, he's rebellious. So Cam and Emma are at school and they're in the hallway talking about prom, which is coming up soon. And what they're talking about whether or not they should match. Her dress should match his tux. So they head off to class while Jocelyn and Spencer, badasses, sneak out of school. They sneak out of school so they can go to Kelly's diner to grab a bite to eat and hang out for the day. So while they're at Kelly's, Alec shows up. Um, and Spencer and Alec definitely don't get along due to the fact that Alec has his eye on Jocelyn. Um, Alec has his eye on Jocelyn because he likes her. And Spencer tells Alec to butt out. And they pretty much get into a fight at the diner when Sean breaks up the fight. And unbeknownst to Jocelyn, the school calls Carly and Jax to let them know that Jocelyn has skipped class. And they do the same thing for Nicholas. They call Nicholas to let him know that Spencer has skipped class. And Carly is pissed that her daughter skipped school. She is pissed. So Jax and Carly head out to look for Jocelyn, and Jocelyn, they find her at Kelly's in the midst of the fight, and Nicholas shows up, and Jax tries to blame Spencer for the fight because Jax hates Nicholas and Nicholas hates Jax. So they decide to take their kids home. Nicholas grounds Spencer, tells him that he's on punishment for at least a week. No TV, no phone calls, no Jocelyn, no hanging out, strictly school and back home and do his schoolwork, and sends him up to his room. Jocelyn goes in the house full of attitude, and Carly is furious with the girl. And Jocelyn is mouthing off, and Jax tells her that she better calm down or her punishment will be worse. And Jax forbids her from seeing Spencer again, and she just storms off, and Carly tells her to go to her room. She's grounded for at least 2 weeks. No credit cards, no shopping, no nothing. School and back, and no Spencer. Carly just doesn't know what to do about her little trouble child. She does not know what to do. Jax says that he knows what to do. He threatens to send her to boarding school in Europe, but Carly says no, they can't just ship their daughter off. And Jax said that it could do her some good. Carly got a phone call. She has to head back to the hotel because there's a little minor problem. So she heads back to Metro Court. Jax decides to stay home with Jocelyn and John to keep an eye on Jocelyn and make sure she doesn't leave the house. So the Quartermaines are still at the Quartermaine mansion with baby Teresa. Sam decides to bring Teresa upstairs to put her down for a nap. But little does the Quartermaines know, there's a storm coming, so they better enjoy their happiness. And I do mean a hurricane is coming, and it's about to hit Port Charles hard. Now, when I say a hurricane is coming, I don't mean a weather hurricane. I don't mean the storm, the weather. I'm talking about a person. And that person happens to be Carl's business partner. And this person is an enemy of a lot of people in Port Charles. And this person is coming back fierce. I mean, with a vengeance. So the Quartermaines better look out because a tidal wave is coming their way. And I do mean this storm is going to hit hard and furious. So Alan and Monica, they planned their trip. Remember, I told you yesterday that they were planning a trip to the beautiful sunlit tides. It's like Hawaii. It's very beautiful. They actually own a house out there in sunlit tides. It's the Quartermaine vacation home. So they go out. So they're planning their trip there. They didn't want to go until the baby was born because they didn't want to miss the birth. So they're planning their trip to leave. Michael and AJ, they head out to ELQ to handle the big business with the cosmetics division. Meanwhile, back on Cassadine Island, Luke has managed to slip past Helena's guards, and he was outside of her office door when he heard her on the phone with someone. And Helena specifically told this person how was the patient doing at the clinic. And she said the clinic in Switzerland. So it got Luke thinking, who the hell could Helena be talking about? So Luke slipped out of the Cassadine mansion on Cassadine Island. He slipped out, went back to his hotel when he got a surprise phone call from Ethan. You remember he went to Cassadine Island because he thought that Helena had Ethan because he couldn't get in touch with Ethan for a while. But Ethan says that he's great. He's in Africa and he was incommunicado for a while. So that's why he didn't get in touch with Luke. So Luke is glad that his son is okay, but he still wants to know who the hell Helena has at a clinic. And he's curious. And he definitely wants to find out. So he books a flight to Switzerland. So meanwhile, his wife is at the Metro Court having some lunch with her daughter Lulu. And they're talking, and Lulu is telling her mom that, you know, her and Dante really want to have another baby. They want to adopt. And Laura says that, you know, she's happy for them, and whatever they decide to do, she's completely supportive. So meanwhile, back at the PCPD, Dante and Lucky are talking, and Dante decides that, you know, he should throw Lucky a bachelor party at the Floating Rib, you know, since Lucky's wedding is coming up soon, to Britt. And meanwhile, Anna Devane comes out and tell them that they still don't have a suspect in the blown up shipment of Sonny Corinthos. They still don't have a suspect on that, and Dante says that they're still searching, but there was no evidence at the scene of the crime at the pier. So, you know, they don't know where else to look. And Sonny isn't really being cooperative. Sean isn't being cooperative. They claim they don't know anything. Dante claims that he believes them. Anna tells Dante and Lucky to stay on this thing because they don't want a war breaking out, and they want to stop it before it even happens. So they want to stop this war before it happens. Meanwhile, Britt is back at the hospital making her rounds when she bumps into Amanda Rollins, you know, Morgan's date, and she bumps into Serena. And they're all actually pretty good friends. You know, Britt has turned over a new leaf. She's nice, but she still can be mean, but she's still nice. And they all decide to throw her a bachelorette party. So it looks like some sleaziness is about to go down. So Serena and Amanda said that they will plan Britt's bachelorette party, and they can have it at Serena's apartment. So Serena gets a phone call from Michael telling her that, you know, they should have dinner tonight, and she agrees. And Serena says that she will wear her little red dress that Michael got her, with her red pumps. So, you know, they're about to get it in. And Morgan stops by the hospital to see his lady love, his new chick, Amanda. And they make a little date of their own. So all in all, it was a pretty decent episode. A lot of things going on. A lot of parties are about to happen. A lot of major events. And Carl, Tracy's husband, I stopped off on this scene. This was the final scene of the episode, where Carl gets a text from his business partner saying that her plane just landed in Port Charles and she'll be at the club later, and for him to stop by. So something major is about to happen. So tomorrow, it looks like we're going to find out who this mystery partner is. So until then, I will see all of you tomorrow. Have a great day. See all of you tomorrow.